Well, this is how you do things whenever it's rained and you got to dry the display out. Let's see if we can turn this around. All these inflatables, all 278 of them. And we have to visit each one and pour the water off. Some might not have as much water as others. Some might have more than others. But before we can get it to power on without tripping the ground fault breakers, we got to pour that water off. Fun times. And then you move on to the next. Lots and lots of water. One thing about it, these are staked down, so when they do air up, they will take their spot back that they originally were in. And sometimes you got to drain the water out of these Santa Claus hats. But you don't want to squeeze it out, because if you do, it makes air holes for the air to escape, and then it won't blow up and hold air. All kinds of water. Look at that. Yep. Alright, that gives you an idea of what we're doing. I see Brandy way over there doing the same thing. Gotta drain the inflatables. Alright, here we are coming online after the rain, after Brandy and I have drained the inflatables. And we still got some that aren't coming on. Probably the ground fault has tripped and I'll have to reset it. The next task is to make sure everything raised up. Once it's raised up, not tangled in the lights, then we got to go back after they dried a little bit and wipe them down to get all the dirt off of them. Sometimes we use a leaf blower, sometimes we use a towel. It just depends on what it needs. Sometimes Brandy gets them with the water fire extinguisher and sprays them off that way too. Sometimes whenever it rains, or sometimes even when it's just regular days, you'll have an inflatable that looks to be dead. In other words, it's not airing up. However, with this particular incident, we'll grab a hold of this little blower, get a picture of it right there, and give it a good shake. And lo and behold, it comes to life. Now, should that fail to work, then more than likely it's probably the plug, which is that little guy right there. And those tend to go out quite often, and you have to change them. Sometimes after it rains and they air up, they'll drip for a little while. As you can see, the drips here. And that helps dry them out too. And after the power has been restored and the inflatables air up, the dirt and things that I was talking about, like shown here, needs to be washed off either with the fire extinguisher that we have that sprays water, or a towel, or wait till it dries and then rub it off. You can't do it until it dries and rub it, otherwise it'll smear and dirty up the fabric even worse than what it is. But anyhow, another thing we got to do is make sure that stuff is out from under the walk path lights and gets fully raised up. That will also help dry the inflatable off. You can see just about every other one, it seems like, has to have its top caught into the path lights. It seems to be a popular thing to do after a rain. And this isn't a real good example, but you can see that the dirt has dried on this inflatable arch. and it wipes away if you just wipe it off, and it doesn't smear and leave a residue or anything in the fabric, where if it was wet and we did that, it would. So now we'll put the arch back up, and the wind's going to blow it back down. We'll probably have to restake it. Sometimes the wind stretches the strings. Actually, it looks like that string's not even attached. It has come off. That was the problem. Sometimes that happens as the wind blows them around at night. There we go. Put that back on. That's a little better. It still looks like it could stand to be tightened up. Let's see what we can do with this one. Oh, that's really in there. There we go. That looks better. It's hard to video this with one hand trying to get what you need to see. Alright, that looks better. The arch is standing up. Let's go down here and have a look. Get down this way and around. There we go. That's better. Well, this concludes our video as to how to recover from a rain, and I hope you enjoyed it, and it gives you an idea of what it takes to get the display back up and running.